What do you think the competition's rebuttal to what you're saying is? And what point of view might they be looking at it?
Well, to be honest with you, I think their rebuttal would fall flat because they are bringing in retail. That, again, I think you mentioned it, it's just simply unfair competition. They'd say, well, we brought in jobs. You took jobs away from places like Walmart.
So their rebuttal to your argument would be, well, hey, your question might be, you're doing all this. What are the others? What are we on the other section of town getting out of the deal? We see what they're getting out of the deal. What are we getting out of the deal? Would their answer be, well, growth in the community, jobs, what?
Well, those would be some of the things, but the thing about it is, if you look at really, we were promised $70 million in financial gain. I mean, I can show you the literature where they say, we're going to give you $70 million.
By whom?
This would generate that much additional revenue for our community in the time period of the TERS.
So just to be clear, the project across the TERS project, as they say, or the development across the freeway, such as Target and all of those other areas there, that particular idea coming to fruition would generate the amount of revenue.
That's what they told us. Let me give you a good example.
So that was the incentive to go forward with that.
It wasn't for me because we shot holes in it initially. We knew it was faulty information. In fact, Paul, I'm going to call it like it is. They were out and out blatant lies. I'll give you a quick example. The superintendent stood up in front of city council and said, we will generate an additional $25 million for our school district, knowing full well for every dollar that we generate in addition to what we were already producing from a tax basis, that the state of Texas diminishes their contribution by that same dollar. So that $25 million is added up to be less than a professional or a senior teacher's salary would be for a year. We are getting about $50,000 a year versus the total of $25 million. And Paul, the whole thing is just a scam. And I can go back to see why.
Was all of this seems like something that would be a blatant slap you in the face type of realization. Was it brought up before the people who were trying to make this go forward? And what was their response to it?
Repeatedly. I filed a federal lawsuit because they broke the Open Meetings Act. I wrote the the district attorney saying they are breaking the law, and I had examples, showed those examples, and nothing was done. And so out of desperation, I said, we must stop this. It's going to be detrimental. It's hurting right now. The businesses are hurting because that was done to them. When I say businesses that have been here established 30, 40 years and contributed in every way imaginable. And they're hurting because of these blatant lies. They broke the law and got away with it. I can tell you that.
It sounds like, from what you're saying, that it could be simply said, this large section of town over here, the business owners basically pay full taxes for their business, as to where perhaps a same type of business across the freeway don't have to pay full taxes, and furthermore are being subsidized by the taxpayers over here. I'm just curious, when it was brought up before City Council and all of the people involved, what was their take on it, in your opinion?
Well, they had this mantra. They said 70 million, 70 million, 70 million. We knew it wasn't true. We stood up and we told them why we felt it was untrue.
So the main crux of the argument is that the project would bring in $70 million worth over the life of the project.
Right.
And that was the basis of their argument. And if I understand what you're saying, yourself amongst others found flaws in that argument that it was just a gamble, perhaps a crapshoot, a guessing game on their part, or
It was more than that. It was absolute distortion.
was it just are you saying that it was just some fictional, phenomenal sounding number they pulled out of the air to try to sell the public on?
We've got articles.
Because that's a large statement right there.
Well,
People look at that and go, "Oh, he's full."
Well, the thing about it is, look at the results.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened. It's simple. You look at each one of those projects and ask yourself one question. How did that benefit 95% of our citizens? And I can tell you, it didn't. It cost them tax dollars that we could have utilized in other ways to help our community. But the fat boys, the boys with the power, that's why I ran the first time. I said, you know, this is ridiculous. I don't care. You do what's right because it's the right thing to do, not to line your pockets. And this city had been run that way for years. They couldn't believe I won. And I tore them up. I had 54 things I wanted to do as mayor, listed, 54 of them. And with help, by no means did I do it by myself. I'm not taking credit. 28 of them have been done. And it was based on accountability. We used to not even have the council meetings videotaped. I had to throw a fit to even get them videotaped. Now they're videotaped, they're put on Channel 7 on a scheduled basis, and they're on the internet, and they're archived. So if the community wants to know about an issue, they can go on the internet, on the website, the Huntsville website, Huntsville City website, and look and say, I can't believe you said that, or, oh, that's great, or whatever. But it was openness and transparency was non-existent. And I want to say one thing. Everything that the city has profited from because of involvement of many of us, many of the citizens, is based upon one gentleman. His name's Bob Sablatura. He's passed away. He opened it's called the Huntsville Observer. It was a small newspaper. He was an investigative reporter for the Chronicle. And he opened people's eyes. Today, we do not have that type of investigative reporting. We do not have a means to disseminate this information where people will say, that upsets me, that's not right, and then get involved. We don't have that means, that medium to get it out.
So in short, Karl Davidson, running for mayor, if you had to wrap it all up into one statement and tell the folks exactly why you're running for mayor, what would that be?
Well, you want me to look at the camera?
Sure.
What I would like to do as mayor is simply to make a difference. I believe simple approaches are very effective. For example, what I want to do, I want to find what's working in Huntsville. The good things are here. What I want to do is then continue to do those things, which only makes sense, but I also want to add something else. I want to find out what's not working, stop doing it, and do something else. I want to make Huntsville one of the best, cleanest, nicest, most efficient cities in the state of Texas. And do you know what? We can do it. Do you know how we can do it? We can model other cities that have gone before us. Today, I found out a lot of information about Tyler, Texas. It didn't cost us a penny. We can model it, we can use it, and we can enhance the quality of your life, my life, and everyone else's in the city of Huntsville.
Karl Davidson, running for mayor. There you have it, folks.